As healthcare providers, we have lost a bit the connection with society. Healthcare in all its facets should be a reflection of what is happening in society, but then translated, let's say adapted, with a few unique characteristics that are different for healthcare. And by reflection, I just don't mean who works there, but also how we work. And with adapted, I don't only envision that several processes in healthcare simply have to run differently because of the nature of the task and role, but above all, we have to be careful that we don't declare ourselves too special as healthcare, which makes us an outsider. And that is what I think is happening right now. As a concern, we are losing the connection with the rest of society. And here I'm talking about the user interface, the UI, the way we offer healthcare, and the user experience, the UX, the way users experience the care, not the quality, but the total steps to be taken to make the process go through. Losses because society is increasingly digitizing. Payment transactions, groceries, holidays, pension and insurance overviews, up to video visits from distant relatives. Of course, we have used digital technology in the recent past. A lot, in fact, and we started to use this because we simply had no other way to keep in touch with the patient. But apart from the fact that we observe now that this is increasingly being reversed by the healthcare sector, it also proves there was no intrinsic need from the healthcare sector itself. And that is where we are losing society a bit. The world around us is changing fast, but as healthcare we don't change fast enough, which has created an imbalance between the user interface and the user experience of society and that of healthcare. Patients, family and caregivers expect us to accelerate and the adjustment of that user interface. And in 2011, the level, the size, breadth and the impact of the digital piece on the total of the healthcare sector is negligible, while the rest of society thunders on. And we are losing society a bit there as well. So let's run through the store like a blind horse? Of course not. We must take care of the employee, the patient and their loved ones so that we don't create a new divide. It should therefore not be either or, but always and. The patient should be given a choice under the guidance of the healthcare professional. Isn't that what shared decision making is all about? Giving choice? Now they usually don't have any choice other than to take a whole day off, ask somebody to go with them to the hospital, find that parking spot, the last one, go and wait for their turn and then go back 10-20 minutes after once they've been seen. The social business case for the patient is many times more negative than for healthcare in that context. For example, loss of working time, carbon dioxide emissions. Did you, by the way, know that we in the Netherlands drive almost 90 million kilometers each and every year for first-time outpatient visits? And so while a large part of this also could be done digitally, not everything, but certainly more than we could have assumed prior to the pandemic. So we as healthcare society are losing society a bit here too. Technology is also becoming easier to use and operate. We often hear that the average patient, if one exists at all, is an older fellow who cannot deal with all of this. I notice something different in my daily life. Elderly people who use great technology to keep in touch with their family, and despite the stereotypical image of the elderly couple behind the lace tablecloth waiting for their meal. Reality has overtaken by the first Rolling Stones fans who now are using our geriatric services and make full use of technology. The Dutch person has an average of 1.3 smartphones in their pocket, which is also saying something. Technology that is also provided with such a simple and logical user interface that is developed with or even by the end user, making use of other systems and equipment that people already use themselves in their everyday daily life. Designed in such a way that we could take an example here for healthcare applications. We have lost a bit of society there too. In my innovation work over the past 20 years, I often have thought that the user interface was simply broken and that it needed to be repaired or simply replaced even. But inspired by Amanda Gorman's poem at the inauguration of Joe Biden's as the US president, she spoke of democracy, that many thought it would be broken. In her poem, however, she related that the world was changing so fast that it simply would not be finalized yet, if ever possible. And here I see the analogy with healthcare. The healthcare user interface will never be finished. And if we want to stay connected with the world around us, we should stay on top of that. We don't need to fix it either, but we don't want to lose the rest of society even further. We have to put more energy into the user interface and the user experience of healthcare. So let's take a closer look at the world around us, using what's already there and what our patients are using already. Not assuming what they want, but asking them from the beginning, and make what they need, and thus rediscover society a little more again.